Oh my god, you guys. Oh my god. This book had me by the throat, guys. Hey, what's up? Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is Ritz, and today I would be talking about my January wrap up. Yes, I know I'm a bit late in the game and it's almost end of February, but this is what it is, better late than never. So let's get started with my January wrap up. So the first book that I've completed in January was Bright Young Woman by Jessica Knoll. And I have talked a lot about this book in my channel. I already have a different video where I have a complete review of this book, and that is the reason why I won't talk much about this book. Only I would say that it was a whooping 5-star review from me, and until I read this book, I never understood that a book like this was very much necessary for the society, and I absolutely loved it. The next book that I read in January was Fragile Threads of Power by V.E. Schwab. Now, this book was a little bit underwhelming for me because the Fragile Threads of Power actually follows the story of the Darker Shades of Magic, which is by far one of my favorite fantasy books. Now, why I didn't like this book as much, please understand, I like this book. Why I didn't like this book as much as the Darker Shades of Magic was because there was too many different point of views. First, there was too many timelines, like unnecessarily the book was getting complicated because we were jumping timelines like crazy in this book, and I was really struggling hard to understand what was happening in which timeline, and that is one of the reasons which really made it a little bit of a tedious read for me. Also, I think there were certain places where this book was a bit slower in pace, though the writing and the magic of V. Schwab is exactly like it was in the Darker Shades of Magic, but still it turned out to be a little underwhelming and tedious for me. I'm going to rate this book a 3.5 star, and I want to tell you guys that it's not a bad book. Maybe I would get back to this book again after a few months when I am in the right pace of mind, and maybe at that time I would really love this book, but as of now it's a 3.5 star for me. So the next book which I read this month was Brother by Anya Albon, and oh my god, you guys. Oh my god. This book had me by the throat, guys. This book literally had me by the throat. The writing of this book was so average. When I started it, a couple of pages in, I was like, okay, fine. It's like I'm seeing a horror movie of some sort. It gave me that feeling, but dude, was I invested in this book. Suppose almost about 30% in, and I was so invested in this book. I was so invested in this book. So this book talks about the Moros family, okay? And the Moros are serial killers. They are not only serial killers, they are cannibals. They like eating human flesh. And therefore, girls goes missing in and around the area, and girls of a typical type of looks, because that's how the serial killers like to work. But girls goes around missing, and this whole family is involved in this missing girls cases. Okay, now let me tell you, there is no police involved, there is nothing involved. This book is from the point of view of the villains themselves. So this book is from the point of view of Michael Moros, who's the youngest of the Moros, and he thinks that he's not made of the same elements like the rest of the family. So the mother, the father, the brother, and there is a sister. There was a elder sister as well in the starting of the book. So all of these people, they was, I think, a little bit not right in the head, but this book deals with rape and incest and cannibalism and murder. This is extreme horror, guys. So if I was a person to suggest this book to you, I will definitely tell you that look for the trigger warnings first before you jump in, and once you do, it is a roller coaster ride. I mean, this is high horror, this extreme horror. And I absolutely freaking loved it. So this book is about these two brothers of the Morrows family. One is Raymond, the other one is Michael, and these constant, sibling rivalry that they have, and what in turn happens because of the sibling rivalry. How Michael's whole life turns upside down because of Raymond. And I must tell you, this is one of the best horrors I've ever read. And I have given this book undoubtedly a whooping 5 star, because oh my god, once I started this book, I just couldn't stop. I finished it within 2 days, and given to the fact that I can't read fast these days, and I don't get much time, I think that is quite a commendable pace of reading when it comes to this book. And oh my god, guys, I know I'm telling this again and again, but this book was so good. This book was so good. The writing may be very average, but I think that makes it, that's actually a positive attribute, because the writing being very simple and not much intricate makes it easier for you to fly through the book. And this book is something which you will want to fly through. The pace of the book is so fast, and there were times when I actually felt chills on me, because it was really scary, guys. It was really scary, but I absolutely loved this one. This one is a chef's kiss and a 5 star review from me. The next book which I read this month, and I was waiting for this book for quite a long time, was Argyle by Ellie Conway. Now, there was this rumor about Ellie Conway being Taylor Swift, and me being a Swiftie jumped into the rabbit hole, made a clown of myself, because guess what? Ellie Conway is not Taylor Swift. Alright, keeping my sorrows to me, what I thought about this book was, whether, irrespective of the fact whether it was written by Taylor Swift or not, what I really thought from the first chapter on, that, from the first line onwards, was that this book was meant to be a movie first. So, generally, what happens for books which turn into a movie later on is that it is written from the perspective of it being a book first. The script doesn't feel like a movie script, it feels like a proper script for a book, okay, but a proper draft for a book. But this book felt like it was somewhere down the line in the mind of the author or authors, as it is a couple of authors is what I got to know, is that this book felt like it was meant to be made as a movie, and then it was a later thought that maybe this should be also made as a book to increase the sales value and increase the hype of the movie. I don't know, I think it is like that, because the conversations felt very much, very likely as it would be in a movie. Also, there were times, in the conversation you don't even see who is saying what. It is like conversation after one after the other after the other. It is as if, it's a movie scene that is being played. It's the script, and you know who are the two actors and who are the two characters who are talking among each other. But this is a very action packed book, very fast. It's a spy novel, so it is going to be very action packed and fast. It gives you the feeling of the Kingsman, and no doubt, because the director of both the books are both the movies are same, so it gives you the feeling of that. And that is the reason why I think that, everything of the movie was done first, and then the book happened. Okay, and then the book happened, because the director was also the same as the Kingsman, and the feeling also was similar to the Kingsman. So yeah. Also, there, this deals with Russian mafia and CIA and whatnot, and you will really enjoy the book if it's a one-time read, and you'll enjoy the book. But there were times it just felt like, okay, it's getting a little bit too much, and we could have curtailed down everything a little bit, by a notch. So, but I enjoyed it thoroughly, and I give it a 4 star. And I loved reading Argyle, and maybe I'll read the following novels of this spy novel thriller series that's coming out. So yes, that was a 4-star rate for me, but you have to keep it in mind, this is not your proper book. It's firstly it's a movie and then it's a book. The last book that I have read in January was Chain Gang All Stars. That's a mouthful. And I have actually temporarily DNF'd it because I think I was not in the right frame of mind when I was reading this book. This book deals with prisoners who are forced to fight against each other, and each time they win a fight they win a title for themselves, and once they like reach a particular level they get freed. If you know they survive, they get freed. Now this book also has a lot of technicalities because it talks about mics, which is roaming around in the air. It talks about some magnetic handcuffs and whatnot. I really didn't get much into this book. I hardly read I read till page 17. I still have the bookmark here, so I read till page 17 and I gave it up because I think it was my brain wasn't registering what was written in this book, and I wasn't in the right frame of mind. So it is a DNF for me temporarily. I would get back to this book because I have heard raving reviews about this. Maybe it would have been very good as a movie.
2,000 years later.
Hey guys, I just realized the video abruptly stopped recording because there wasn't any memory space in my memory card. So here I am along with Ridant, and I just wanted to finish up what I was saying, that I have temporarily DNF'd Chain Gang All Stars, and I would be picking it up sometime soon, and then I would be giving it a proper rating. For now I'm not rating it at all because that won't be fair. I didn't read much of the book. So yeah, that was my January wrap up, and I know February wrap up is not going to have so many books because Shadow and Flame, I think, is taking up my whole month. That one book is so huge, it is taking up all month, but it's worth it. So anyway, that's my January wrap up. Hope to see you guys soon. Mwah. Bye.